The news that brought some optimism today amid the ongoing Russian attacks on Ukraine. Today, President Zelensky, who arrived in Athens, proudly announced the gas deal between Ukraine and Greece. In particular, Ukraine and Greece agreed to create a new energy route. It will provide gas supplies to Ukraine through the so-called vertical energy corridor from Greek Alexandroupolis to Odessa. Thus, Ukraine will be supplied with gas this winter. And this is critically important since the Russians have started actively targeting the gas infrastructure after they failed to plunge all of Ukraine into a blackout. But on social media, people have already started spreading confusion, saying that gas production in Greece is at a rather low level. But Athens still buys Russian gas, which comes through the TurkStream pipeline via Bulgaria to Greece. And a myth has emerged that in this way Ukraine will supposedly buy Russian gas simply by bypassing an undercover. But it's important to consider three factors here. Ukraine will receive gas via the Trans-Balkan route. Recently, Greece has greatly increased its reception of liquefied natural gas at its ports. To achieve this, it launched a new hub for Ukraine to receive gas. And most importantly, right before the deal between Athens and Kiev, Greece signed a 20-year agreement with the United States to purchase American liquefied natural gas, which, strangely enough, will continue to go along the Trans-Balkan route. But let's take a closer look at all of this. My name is Alexei Pichi. Let's analyze this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, write any detailed comment under this video, and subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pichi News. The link to it is in the description of this video. There, we post breaking news as it comes in. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so financially with any donation or a paid sponsorship subscription by using the links and details in the description of this video. It says there, support Alexei Pichi's channel. Choose any format that is convenient for you. I will be grateful for any support you provide. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky announced today an agreement with Greece on gas for Ukraine. According to the head of state, this will be another direction for gas supplies to maximize the security of gas import routes for Ukraine during the winter. Next is a quote from Zelensky. We already have agreements on financing gas imports, and we will cover almost 2 billion euros worth of gas import needs to offset Ukrainian production losses from Russian strikes. Then Zelensky said that the Ukrainian government has allocated funds to finance imports. There is also assistance from European partners. European banks under the guarantee of the European Commission are helping, as well as Ukrainian banks and Norway, which has decided to take on obligations separately. And in addition, active work with American partners continues, so full funding will be provided. But that's the statement. And next, let's move on to, as they say, the mechanics and logistics. So Ukraine and Greece have agreed to create a new energy route. It will provide gas supplies to Ukraine through the so-called vertical energy corridor from Greek Alexandroupolis to Odessa. That's it. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis emphasized that the new route will become a safe energy artery from south to north, which will allow Ukraine to access reliable energy sources. According to him, Greece is already a key hub for the supply of American liquefied gas. The Greek route will improve the energy security of the entire region, Mitsotakis said. This greatly supports stability and security in our region and yours. The project is made possible thanks to Greece's infrastructure and strategic partnerships. How will all of this look logistically? Gas from the Greek port of Alexandroupolis, which has recently expanded, will be sent to Odessa via Bulgaria, Romania, and Moldova. Gas deliveries to Ukraine via Greece will start in January 2026. And here, some commentators on social media started to have doubts. Whose gas will we actually be buying? In previous years, Greece received gas from several main sources, including Russia, Azerbaijan, and liquefied natural gas supplies. Russian gas is delivered through pipelines, particularly via Bulgaria. Montenegro does not have major sources of gas. Greece was buying quite a lot of Russian gas in 2024, but in 2025 the situation changed dramatically. And later I'll explain why Greece receives Azerbaijani gas through the southern gas corridor, including the Trans-Adriatic pipeline. And now, the most interesting part for us. Greece imports liquefied natural gas through maritime terminals, such as the Revitausa terminal. Liquefied natural gas supplies in 2025 mainly come from the United States of America. And in recent months, Greece has actively started developing the so-called vertical gas corridor to become a regional gas hub for southeastern Europe. And it worked. Well, I think you understand why it's called the vertical gas corridor. Because if we look at the map, all of this goes up from Greece to Eastern Europe. And that's why it's called that. That's why it worked. Exactly a week ago, the Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, called for an immediate ban on Russian gas supplies to the European Union, including through the TurkStream pipeline. Many were shocked. Is Mitsotakis suicidal? Greece also gets gas via the TurkStream pipeline. Then Mitsotakis made his main point. Quote, "Isate posto sototamo kotecho." The United States of America views Greece as a gateway to Europe's energy needs. That's why I call for a swift ban on the supply of Russian natural gas. Russian gas cannot enter Europe through the back door, through Turkey. We must be ready with a vertical corridor that will start in Greece and end in Ukraine. It is Greece that is becoming the receiving point for gas supplies that will replace Russian natural gas. And this is where things get really interesting. Before Zelensky went to Athens today, officials from the United States of America made separate trips to European countries to promote American energy resources instead of Russian ones. The United States is essentially trying to eliminate every last molecule of Russian gas from the European market, and they're succeeding. And here is a statement from the United States Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, quote, "For a long time, Greece was at the end of the energy supply pipeline system, which was dominated by Russia. But now this country has become the starting point for American fuel entering Europe. Now we have a tremendous opportunity to push out all Russian gas, every single molecule from Europe." And right after that, in early November, the United States and Greece signed a 20-year agreement providing for the supply of American liquefied gas, which will then go along a new route, including to Ukraine. And today in Athens, Zelensky says, quote, "We are grateful to American companies, the United States Department of Energy, and President Donald Trump for the opportunity to receive energy from the United States through Greek infrastructure. The creation of a new gas corridor should strengthen Ukraine's energy resilience in the face of Russian aggression and become an important element of transatlantic cooperation. Therefore, as they say, there is no betrayal. We will buy American gas." Quote, "I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's it for now. Take care.